The United States will impose visa restrictions on persons responsible for the pursuit of any probe against the country at the International Criminal Court. The move is seen as an attempt by the administration of President Donald Trump to put the brakes on a preliminary investigation launched by the ICC Prosecutor in 2017 into alleged war crimes and crimes against humanity in Afghanistan since May 2003. While the United States is not a member of the court, Afghanistan acceded to the Rome Statute in 2003, where the ICC enjoys jurisdiction for crimes committed on its territory.
While the ICC prosecutor announced in 2017 that she would seek permission from the pre-trial chamber to pursue a fully fledged investigation, that decision is yet to be handed down. But Washington wasn't waiting.
Since 1998, the United States has declined to join the ICC because of its broad, unaccountable prosecutorial powers and the threat it poses to American national sovereignty. We are determined to protect the American and allied military and civilian personnel from living in fear of unjust prosecution for actions taken to defend our great nation. We feared that the court could eventually pursue politically motivated prosecutions of Americans, and our fears were warranted. In November of 2017, the ICC prosecutor requested approval to initiate an investigation into, quote, the situation in Afghanistan, end of quote, that could illegitimately target American personnel for prosecutions and sentencing.
The United States indicated last September that if the court launched the Afghanistan probe, it would consider banning ICC judges and prosecutors from entering the United States. This, Pompeo indicated, would just be the beginning.
You should know, if you're responsible for the proposed ICC investigation of U.S. personnel in connection with the situation in Afghanistan, you should not assume that you will still have or will get a visa, or that you will be permitted to enter the United States. The United States will implement these measures consistent with applicable law, including our obligations under the United Nations Headquarters Agreement. These visa restrictions will not be the end of our efforts. We are prepared to take additional steps, including economic sanctions, if the ICC does not change its course. The first and highest obligation of our government is to protect its citizens, and this administration will carry out that duty.
Human Rights Watch called the move a thuggish attempt to penalize investigators at the ICC, warning that the Trump administration was trying an end run around accountability. The UN was extremely cautious in its reaction, despite long-standing support for the court.
We've seen what the Secretary of State said this morning. We're taking a look at the implication. We've noted that I think the Secretary of State underscored the existing host country agreement and the need to respect that. But obviously, we'll take a further look. As you know, the ICC is not itself a UN body of which the Secretary General has any authority, but he has over a number of times expressed his support for international law.
Does the SG believe that any judge sitting on the ICC should be sanctioned by any country?
I've had to say what I've had to say on that.
The United States has long argued in favor of its national judicial competence to deal with infractions by its personnel in theaters of war. ICC prosecutor Fatou Bensouda launched the preliminary probe in 2017 into alleged war crimes by Afghanistan's national security forces, the Taliban and Haqqani network militants, as well as United States military and civilian personnel operating in Afghanistan since May 2003. But prosecutorial efforts by the court have been undermined by the refusal of several countries, including Russia, China and the United States, to accede to the Rome Statute, in addition to accusations of court bias against African countries. Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.